Here again in the New Year's dump house, this is another area where I stage my doll dioramas, and there's not really one in progress right now, but there's my altered ego, Dottie, which is myself as a woman, with Lee Harvey Oswald, working in a McDonald's. And I already did that little skit, so that set has been broken down. Yeah, I know you're wondering about the Lee Harvey Oswald thing, but you know what? I don't think he was that bad looking. I mean, he might have done that thing that people talk about, or he might not have. Because think about what's been, you know, said or not said about him, and I just think he wasn't all that bad. Look, he's topless. Whew. I altered this picture a little bit, but some of these are actual. This is just adorable. This was taken in the late 50s. Would this man harm a fly? No. Here he is again. And this is pleasant because he does display secondary sexual characteristics here. Dottie likes her men to be a little furry. But that face, that's just so sweet. And again, I'm not a white supremacist. I don't idolize Hitler or Manson, but Lee is just, you know, if you take him at face value, literally face value, I don't think he's that bad. Do you? Okay, now we're going to head down this hallway, which you saw in another YouTube installment, when Susan was helping me clean. There's a cake there, and some more party ephemera. You can see some naughty girly magazines on this shelf, but that's the John. We're not going to go in there. This is the hallway, and by default it's covered in confetti. In this room, I will take just a slight diversion. This room here was the original dump room in my house. This is where I keep all of my vintage clothing and costumes from when I used to actually dress as Dottie and be her character and do photos. And now it's just a mess because I rent these out sometimes for Halloween and for plays and so on, but now it's just a damn dump. A damn dump. But there's some cool stuff in here. Ask Susan. So, leaving this room, back to the hallway. I know, it's bad. We're not even going to go in my bedroom. But going into the den, which looks horrible. I know, looks horrible. There's Susan, look.
Hello.
You can barely see her in the debris heap.
Hello.
But look at all this floor. Susan, you have to agree this floor is nice.
The floor looks very nice.
Compared to what it was, it looked like that.
Yes.
With just garbage in it. But I swept that up today. I found a broom. And this room is much better. It's much better. Again, it's set in the 1950s. Here's a vintage television. We've got the vintage art and the lamps and so on. And you can see a lot more of it now. This chair was uncovered last night for the most part, and it's a really cool chair. I like it.
Yes.
I've missed it. I've missed it. And some of this is beginning to come back. This was covered with fast food cups and bags. The floor was covered. This is where I sit to look at the television. Susan is here.
Yes, I am.
She's going to be helping me clean this up even more, because back there, bad. Bad, bad, bad. Trash. Trash. Not so much trash, but just clutter, because I hoard things. I still buy the 50s furniture. I still buy the toys. I still buy the props. Look who's here. Yeah. Yeah. And this is a couch. There you go. See that cool, it's called a doggy bone couch. And it's not really a couch now, but it matched the chairs. And hopefully we'll get that undone. Maybe you'll see a video later showing the chairs, or the couch rather. And there's a little bit of everything here. I won't go into too much detail, but I mean, I can't tell what this stuff is just looking at it. But where do you put it? For some of my friends who know that I use this room as a computer room, you can see there's an ugly contemporary printer. Cool 50s coffee table, but again, it houses the computer. Here is my monitor, and this is my little workstation. And this is one of those mice things. And there's the screen coming up. Look at that. So this is where I sit, is in this tiny little space between the couch, nested in the nasty old sheets, and do my computer stuff, hunkered on the floor. And this frequently avalanches down onto me. It really does. And it's a pain in the butt. And I like my clutter, but only to a certain extent. And I am not ashamed to admit that when I do have anger fits, I will throw things. And you can see in the corner here those dents in the wall, which are chunks out of the plaster where I have chucked broken printers, scanners that have failed me. I do not like it when technology fails me. I do not like it. I get angry. And yeah, Parker Stevenson, my veterinarian, tacked to the wall. Here is one remnant that has not been altered. It fits in with the 50s theme. We see bowling awards, pulp novels. One of my favorites, I'm sure you can't read that, The Venus Was a Harlot. Kind of love that. Beer glasses, record player, a little TV. So remnants of this room are here. Remnants. But it has been overtaken by this. And what Susan and I are trying to do is get this back to something reasonable. Isn't that right?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.